Give me your best deers.
Come to me, little deer man, you don't have to fight. This dude right here is named Geralt, and he's really good at fighting. You don't want to die today, dear. Just have some corn out now.
Hello, we are the Brothers Murph. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Today at the Game House, we're going to be playing The Witcher, The Path of Destiny, which is by Go On Board, who are sponsoring this playthrough. Thank you so much, Go On Board. We appreciate it right now.
Thanks so much.
And there'll be a link to the campaign, the game found down in the description below for The Witcher. But Mikey, we're going to be kind of going through and telling a story.
It's a little bit of choose your own adventure. You know, we're going to be presented with multiple points where we have a pathway we can go. We can either go to the left or go to the right. We can go and explore, or we can go fight and things like that. And through card play, we are going to collectively as a group, we each have our individual goals and stuff, but collectively as a group decide where to take this story. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you an overview of how this game plays, and we're going to hop into a two-player game of this, which has a couple of different little rules, which you'll see play out in the gameplay itself. So check out this overview.
In The Witcher, Path of Destiny, players are a group of characters trying to be the hero of the story that they're going through together. Each game, you will choose a story that you would like to tell. These stories will have branching paths, and the story will be different as you choose different options. The story will be told over 3 rounds, and each round the players will take 3 turns. At the start of the round, the players will read out the story, and then the story will take them to the point where they have a branching path. Each path will have a predominant symbol that corresponds with that path. For example, in the first part of the story, one path is for players to grab their weapons, and the main symbol for that is combat, whereas the other path is to speak to the creature, and diplomacy is the main symbol. The inactive symbols for this part of the story are magic and exploration, as they aren't relevant to what's happening in the story. Each turn, the players will draft cards in initiative order. They will place their character at one of the pairs of cards on the boards and then take those cards. Once all players have their cards, they will each choose 2 cards from their hand to play to their tableau. The cards will have a color and generally have symbols on the left and an ability on the bottom. The players are trying to gather the symbols for the path that they would like the story to follow. And keep in mind that this is a competitive game, so players might want to go in different directions. The abilities on the bottom will give the player more of certain symbols or experience points. For example, this card says that if you have exactly 1 blue card in your tableau, you will gain 2 diplomacy symbols. Oftentimes, these abilities require you to lose a symbol, like this one here that makes you lose 1 diplomacy symbol to gain 1 of each other symbol. When you lose a symbol, you can either lose a token or cover up that symbol on one of your cards. Experience is represented by these diamonds, and when you gain experience, you will move your marker up on your experience track. Each character has special abilities that they will unlock as they gain more experience, though each of these abilities may only be used once per game, so make sure to use them wisely. Once your experience marker reaches 20, you will place your gold marker back at 0, and now as you gain experience, you will instead be gaining endgame points. Once all players have played and activated their 2 cards, they will count up how many of each of the 2 active symbols they have in their tableau. In this case, I have 4 diplomacy and 2 combat symbols. So on this particular turn, I'm leaning towards diplomacy. Each player will announce which symbol they have more of, and the symbol that has the majority of players will gain a destiny token. For example, if 2 players had a majority of combat symbols and 1 player had a majority of diplomacy symbols, the destiny token will get placed on the grab your weapon path. And if there's a tie and neither path has more, the token is set off to the side. After this is determined, players will go back to the initiative track, and then you will refill the card row. You will do this sequence 2 more times for a total of 3 turns, and then it's the end of the round. At the end of the round, the dominant path is decided. Whichever path has more destiny tokens is the path that has been chosen by the players. So in this case, they have chosen the path of speaking to the creature. If it's a tie like this, the destiny token that is of the highest value, in this case 3, is the path that has been chosen. Players will all then gain 1 victory point for every symbol of the dominant path that they have amongst their tableau and their tokens, and then they will gain 1 experience for every symbol they have of the non-dominant path. Then the story will continue. The number at the bottom of the card will tell you where to turn the story to, in this case 10. You will turn to that card and read off the story. This will then bring you to another branching path, and the second round will begin and play out just like the first round. The story is told over 3 rounds, and you will then reach the end of the story. Once you have read out the epilogue of the story, points will be calculated. Players start at the victory points they gained in the game. They will then gain points for having certain cards left in their hand at the end of the game, depending on their side quest card. And finally, they gain points for how far their gold experience marker has reached. And the player with the most points is the true hero of this particular story and has won the game.
Join us on the path
of Destiny. I'm assuming there's some character in The Witcher that sounds like that.
Oh, there's at least one. Some shopkeep.
That's what this guy's all about right here. We are at the edge of the world, Nick.
We are.
It's a perfect time to start an adventure. We are loose allies. We're not enemies.
We're in the same crew.
But we have different, we
want to be the hero of the story.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go this way. You want to go that way, possibly.
Well, it's like you're a loot carrying.
I'm a loot carrying union member right here, musician right there.
That's right.
You know, the local 405 baby. Let's go.
Whereas I'm Geralt, so I'm hitting stuff with stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so we might want to go different paths. But again, we're all in the same crew. It's just
big main character energy.
Who's gonna be who's gonna be the main hero of the story? So we're starting off with the edge of the world story here. There are again going to be multiple in there. And this is all prototype components, so just also know that
nothing final. Nothing is final.
Nothing indeed is final. So we're going to flip over the first page of the story and then read it out. I'll read it out like this because it's... All right. For the past few days, you've been traveling along the route in the Valley of Flowers, listening to the clatter of wheels and your own thoughts. So when you hear someone call you from behind, you gladly come to a halt. A break from the monotony of the journey is always welcome. The bearded peasant who catches up with you introduces himself as Netley. My village, Lower Posada, is being terrorized by a damn Doeyville.
Oh, I hate those.
I probably made that wrong. I'm sorry. We've not played The Witcher. So just let you know right now.
Hey, listen. It's no shame. I don't know anything about The Witcher.
But that's the thing.
Do I care? No, I'm here for the story.
Yeah. I thought that a company like yours could help us. On your way to the village, he tells you about the beast which roams their fields day after day. It destroys our crops, pollutes water in the well, and steals oats from the granaries, Netley enlists. But most of all, it demands food in return for peace and quiet. Rude.
I'm just going to guess this is a deer, because we have the same thing, like our dad deals with this on the daily.
All day.
It's just a deer.
It's just a big old deer. Even though you cannot believe that creatures such as Diovels are anything more than a figment of human imagination, you quickly realize the nerves of the residents of the Lower Posada are on edge. And when superstitions and agitation come into play, pitchforks and torches usually follow. But rarely is it right, or even less often just. Well, apparently before you leave this place known as the edge of the world, you will have to straighten this problem out. So we'll draw one extra effort card, which you actually already have. For the 3 rounds, and this is specific to this one. And in a 4-player game, you don't use this spot, so we're just using this for the extra effort cards.
This would normally be off the side, but I figured it's nice and convenient for our play.
Okay, so we have our extra effort cards, and so now we'll move over into this part of the story. Netley leads you to Dun, the elder of the village. We are surrounded by fields of hops and linens. They probably don't sound like that. Which must have been past, said Dun. In the Deoville's territory, go there. But when you reach the place, your attention is drawn to a large stone on which several clay bowls and tallow candle and almost entirely burnt have been placed. Amongst the dishes, you find corn and beans as well as other seeds and grains. You begin to think that this was used by the villagers to make an offering to the Deoville. All of a sudden, from behind your back, the sound of scampering and a menacing growl reaching your ears. Something is approaching you. The Deoville jumps at you with the thicket. From the thicket of the field. It's the strangest looking creature you've ever seen, horned with a furry tail and split hooves.
Deer!
It's a deer. It starts to jump around you, and its sinister roars blend into one with your lavatorial profanities. So, we basically are going to have 2 paths that we can take. The combat path, so instinctively we reach for our weapons to prevent the creature from getting too close to you. At the same time, you try to talk it over as it roars. So now, as we get into the game here, we can either choose to grab our weapon or speak to the creature, and that will change the story. That will change which path we go down. And so, we can either go the way of combat, so combat symbols, or diplomacy, and then the next chapters that we go to are going to deal with magic and exploration, so those are the inactive symbols for this particular part of the story.
Interesting.
So now what's going to happen is we are going to draft our cards. We're going to have 3 turns of drafting cards and playing cards into our tableau.
Yep, and then taking a look at where we're at in terms of which way are we leaning, because basically we're having a quick huddle.
Like if I'm playing all combat, Mike's playing all diplomacy. We might have something. You're saying you're trying to serenade him with the freaking...
Yeah.
Give me your best deer.
Come to me, little deer man, you don't have to fight. This dude right here is named Geralt, and he's really good at fighting. You don't want to die today, dear. Just have some corn out now. Something like that.
How could that not work?
Listen, that's my first pass. It's only going to get better.
Not for a rough draft. That's really not bad.
It's not bad.
Okay, Mikey, so we're going to now draft cards. So I'm first here. And, okay, so what? Ooh, okay.
So I'm thinking about my side quest here. So my side quest, I want cards that don't have any symbols here at the top.
Yes, that is I want
But
green
I also
cards.
want the symbols at the top. So
I want the symbols. Okay.
And I'm not much of a fighter, so if I'm gonna be perfectly
I'm
honest,
gonna
I think
go-
I'm gonna go toward diplomacy.
I'm going to go here, and I'm going to draft these cards.
Okay. I think
So remember that any amount of people can be in this spot, but they'll just draft off the top of the deck.
I'm gonna go down here to the very end
Okay.
and take these. I'm guaranteed to be second pick next, but I do get an experience as a result, and I'll take that right there.
That's nice.
And I like these cards.
Okay, so now we'll choose which cards to play.
Okay, I think I'm doing this, man.
Doing these two.
I'm done. I've made my selections.
All right, and then you'll choose which ones to put out first. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna put this one first. And the reason is we're gonna execute these from left to right.
Execute this, dear.
So I'm gonna go here. It's gonna give me a combat and diplomacy, so a split decision here. This gives me another diplomacy, and here I can trash, basically cover up this combat symbol to get 3 experience.
Oh, that's nice.
And I'm gonna carry this out now.
Yep, you'll do it right now.
So here we go.
So normally we would do this simultaneously.
Yeah.
We'll do it turn to turn so y'all can
Make sure you
follow
can
it
follow.
easier. But I can't do anything to affect Mike.
Right.
And so you would
So
just do
again,
this normally.
To do this, I need to trash this, either get rid of a token if I had it or cover up a symbol. I'm gonna cover this up. So now I actually only have 2 for diplomacy, and I'm gonna get 3 experience for doing this.
That's pretty sweet.
1, 2, 3. I kind of want to get some of my abilities unlocked.
Yeah, really though.
Plus, again, I'm a little more inclined toward diplomacy at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put up this card first. This card doesn't do anything other than give me a magic and an exploration symbol. And then this card will give me a combat symbol, but then also for every 1, 2, or 3 of the non-active symbols, which in this case are magic and exploration, I will gain 1, 2, or 3 experience. I have 2 in this case. I will gain 2 experience.
Oh, that's pretty nice, man.
Yeah, so both of us went the way of a little bit of experience there.
Okay.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to look and see kind of where the path is starting. So we're going to count up. I have the majority. My majority is combat.
My majority is diplomacy.
Ooh, so that is tied. So in a 2-player game, you'll also look at what's left out over here. So there is 1 combat, 1 diplomacy. So this whole thing is a tie, basically, and there hasn't been any majority. Whereas if this was, like, let's say this one wasn't here as combat, then this Destiny token would go over towards combat. But since I'm one way, you're one way, and they're tied, we will then put this over here, which means we're not leaning anywhere right now.
I'm just over here. I can do better in the
I
song.
can do-
Let me have another pass
I
at it. You're like,
can
I'm
do
chopping this
this.
dude's head off. Like, it's happening.
It's happening.
So yeah, we have not decided yet. We've
Okay.
not decided yet.
And that's the first turn there.
All right.
Okay, so then we're going to do the end of the round stuff. So we're going to come back, keeping our
And then
initiative
turn
order.
orders, whoever was here would be higher in
Yep.
turn order.
And these will go into a discard pile.
Okay.
Kind of just off to the side. These will slide up, and then we'll bring in some new cards here.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the second round, which again is going to be card draft and playing cards, and then figuring out what way we're starting to lean.
At the abilities. Interesting.
Okay. So, yeah, what I want, I'm trying to think, like, what do I have? Interesting. I kind of want, tough stuff here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to go here.
Okay.
Toof and Stoof.
I think I'm gonna go back down here. I'll go back down here. This is gonna give me 1 experience. Again, I will be choosing second.
Yeah, but
next
you're close to your
round.
second ability.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
All right. Collecting?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I think I want to do that. And then
You know, I want to get some of these extra effort cards too.
yeah, and I'm kind of, oh man, yeah, I totally forgot about those extra effort cards. Oh my lord,
Okay,
yep.
I think. Yeah, I made my selection.
Man, okay.
I think
I'm gonna
I
go
made a
boom.
smart move. Perhaps.
Okay, boom, and then I think boom. Okay,
Alrighty.
what you got, Mikey?
So I've got these 2. I'm gonna do them like so. This can give me some more diplomacy and stuff like that. But
man.
I do have a yellow, red, blue, which follows this yellow, red, blue. So we'll look at whatever this arrow, which is the path of diplomacy. So I'll get a diplomacy.
Oh, man, you are really pushing
I'm super diplomacy.
Yeah, seriously, though.
All day.
All right, anything else? Oh, that's just symbols,
That's it, just symbols.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one right here, I can get rid of a diplomacy to get all 3 of these symbols, or rather I have to if I have it. I don't have it. I think I'm going to use my first ability. You can only use this once per game. So I think I'm going to do it, though. So I'm going to use this ability, and basically this means I can ignore the loss of 1 symbol from 1 card with an effect played this turn. So I'm going to ignore this one, but I'm going to get 1 combat, 1 magic, and 1 exploration symbol. It seems very nice to have that. So
nice.
I'll gain 1 of each of those. And then this one here, again, is basically the same as this card, where I will gain, and also on top of that, I made this right here, so I'm actually going to get another of the combat symbols.
Oh, you're leaning further in your direction.
I know, right? And then for every inactive symbol, I will gain 1 experience. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Jeez.
Actually, so I only get for 1 to 3. So I can only get 3 experience. I don't get 5, but man, that would have been great if I did.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's me. Again, I didn't really lean any way. So my majority is still definitely combat.
Mine is still 100% diplomacy.
Oh my gosh, and they are
tied again.
They're tied again. Oh my stars. Okay, so this is going to come off of here.
This is going to come down to only the final.
So if at the end of the round all 3 ended up being tied like that, whoever's first initiative order just gets to choose the direction.
All right.
Which is kind of interesting. So we're going to go blamp,
interesting.
blop back over to here.
This is now going to
Those are going to go
away.
And then these will blop back up here.
So the interesting thing is like drafting cards potentially to, now this is mostly a 2-player game consideration, but like what do we leave behind?
Yeah, what's left up here is like is a legit consideration. So, man, I think I'm going to end up combat kind of regardless, and I am a bit worried. I think I'm going to go here.
Okay.
Ooh. I'm going to go here.
Okay. I think I'm going to take the first spot then.
Okay.
So I'm going to guarantee that there's not a tie on the board.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So they're going diplomacy, huh?
Yep.
So you can also know that now. So choosing what you want to choose. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm definitely doing that. And that's going to be okay. Okay.
Interesting. So we're also thinking about the future now.
Yes.
Let's start thinking about the future.
Yeah, like what's
rounds,
you get to keep 1 card at the end of this round, so it's like next one we know is going to be magic and exploration. So do you want to keep something like that? There's choices.
Oh, man.
Yes, choices.
I think I'm going to go... It's a lot of choices. So I did that. Okay, I think I'm going to do this.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to play these. I'm going to play these cards. This one here, if I have exactly 1 blue banner, which I do, I get 2 experience. That's going to unlock my second ability, reading between the lines.
Ooh.
And then this is going to give me a couple more symbols. So I have a couple of combat
in there.
but still
Back into your
diplomacy.
loot.
Yeah, still diplomacy.
You know?
Then bonk. Diplomacy wins the day for me. So
Okay.
yeah.
My thing is I can get rid of 1, 2, or 3 active symbols to gain 1, 2, or 3 diplomacy. I think we're going to go the way of diplomacy, so I want to make sure I have diplomacy.
Would the X be non-active?
I'm sorry, non-active. Sorry, not active. Non-active symbols, which I have a bunch of because I kept doing these things that wanted non-active symbols here. So I am going to get rid of, I guess, 1, 2, and then 3. Because you're going to get rid of your tokens first, and then boom, and that's going to give me 3 diplomacy symbols. So that's good.
Very nice.
And then my second card here is I can get rid of an exploration symbol, which I will. I have an extra one here to get 3 more experience. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And I get also my second one here.
Nice.
Okay. And that's it for me.
That's it. All right. So we're going to take a look at who has what. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to now 2 combat. So I am going the road of diplomacy.
I have now 3 diplomacy, but I have 4 combat. So I'm still going the way of combat.
So we take a look here. There is no combat symbols, but 1 diplomacy. So diplomacy wins the day.
Indeed. So now this one goes here because
I don't know if it's
diplomacy.
smart to talk to this creature, but
We're going to find out if it is or not.
I get
Okay.
walloped.
So that is the end of the round there. So that's right. We are going to be going that way. So the first thing we do is determine what is the dominant pathway, which is going to be this way, the path of diplomacy. This is the non-dominant side. So we're going to count up. You're going to get points for every symbol you have of the dominant pathway. In my case, I have 3 because I only have 3 diplomacy symbols.
Nice.
So I will gain 3 points.
I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will get
Nice.
5 points.
And then you'll gain experience for every symbol you have of the non-dominant pathway. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, which is awesome.
Yeah, I only have 2,
Ooh.
so I'll get 2 experience for my combat symbols here.
Okay, and then I guess who has the most of each? I have the most of the combat symbols, right? And then you have the most of the diplomacy symbols?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're going to gain, I'm going to gain this pathway right here. You're going to gain that pathway, and that will matter
Be a
for...
little effect at the start of the next round.
Indeed.
Here.
So let's go ahead and finish out the rest of the round. So first of all, these are going to go away. These are going to boop. We'll get all this up here, and then we'll go to the end of the round stuff.
Exciting.
Which means start thinking about what card you want to keep, Mikey.
Right. So on that, we know that exploration and magic now, because we're heading this way, are going to be the primaries for the next round. And I don't have a ton.
Yeah.
That's been played. So I think, I don't know what the extra effort card is. I'm going to keep one of these 2. I think I'll keep the blue one. Let's
Okay.
double check. No, sorry, I'm going to keep the green. I'm keeping the green. This is my held. I'm going to hold this up.
All right, and then you're going to discard the rest of your symbols.
Get gone. This is gone. I'll keep this for now.
Yeah, so all these are gone. So you don't keep these because this was just this one part of the story. Now
Yeah.
we're starting fresh and new.
But we do start with one more
Boom.
card, so our
And then-
tableau will grow.
So I might use my thing before choosing cards. I can return one of the cards to my tableau. I think I am going to use that. And let's do this one. This one is pretty darn sweet.
So return to your hand from your tableau. That's
Yeah,
pretty
back to
sweet.
my hand, my tableau, and then I choose a card. I think I'm going to choose this one because, again, this just has one of each of those
Yeah,
symbols.
get a head start.
So all these are going to go away.
Bye-bye now.
Bye, friend. And then this one is going to stay out here. At the very beginning of the round, if it has something to activate, you would then activate it. But it doesn't. So now we've chosen this way. So we're going to go to part 10.
Page
Boom.
10.
Ignore all of that.
Don't look at it.
we didn't
Don't
take
think
that
about
path.
it. It's not the path we chose.
All right, Mikey, go ahead.
So here we are. The table's not so black as it is painted. This one, in fact, turns out to be a Sylvan, indeed malicious, but by no means bloodthirsty.
Aw.
Ha! Even though it is in a fighting mood and persistently hurls iron balls at you, and another one, you manage to establish some kind of understanding with it. One of you makes out a few coherent sentences from among all the swearing and roaring. That's
Yep.
great. From which you learn that the villagers did try to perform a magical ritual here to drive the beast away, relying on clues from, as the Sylvan called it, the Book of the Wizened Crone.
Love that book. Love that book.
Okay, so we're going to have a thing. The player with the darkened
right path
to the right is going to draw whatever the heck. What's that?
One magic.
The player's going to draw magic. Okay. As one of you won't let the creature that tried to hit you with iron balls off the hook, they charge at the Sylvan to drive it away. The beast immediately retreats. By following its tracks, you discover the rough location of its hiding place. The person who charged at it before is now rubbing their hands in anticipation of getting revenge at last. The player with the other fence post moves their pawn to the top of the initiative track. If it's not possible, that player gains an experience point. But you
I
were able
was
to do that.
behind, indeed. Okay. So then these will just go back because that is what you get for having
so
those paths.
Changes up what happens. All right. You feel that the residents of the Lower Posada did not tell you everything. You come back to the village with a view to make sense of the situation. Don and Netley reluctantly admit that they searched for answers to the problems with the Dable in an old book, the possession of an elderly healer and her silent apprentice named Lily. You are pressed for time, but now that you know the way to the Sylvan's hideout, you quickly devise a plan which will allow you to get there unnoticed, which would be the exploration path or the magical path. To avoid further surprises, you also devote some time to talk to the healer and study the book about which the Sylvan told you about.
Okay.
Interesting. Do we want to freaking go on an adventure or learn some magic?
Oh, go try and find the
I
hideout?
don't know.
I know. We're going to have to decide here. Okay.
I'm so curious.
Okay, so now it's the beginning of the round. You would then play these cards. If you had anything that happened on them, they would. Yeah, so again, the inactive tokens are going to be... yeah, okay.
I don't know, man.
Interesting. Yeah, so basically the inactive are combat and diplomacy.
And diplomacy.
Yeah, and then so now depending on where we go, it'll the next round's symbols are going to be different there. So okay. So now we're back to drafting. Okay, what to draft here?
Where do you want to go, man?
I don't know, man. I like this.
I'm intrigued
this
by
beer
either
seems fine,
results.
but like I don't. This town is giving me the willies, honestly.
Yeah, dude. I'm a little freaked out.
And so what do I want to go to? I think let's go here. Boop.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go.
Too late
Too
to
bad.
apologize. It's too late. Song banger.
Gosh. Here's a new extra effort card.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So what is
Let's
it?
see. We got blue, green, yellow, or red, yellow, green.
Oh, you're getting extra experience. Okay.
Dang it.
Way to go, man.
I think I'm just going to take this one here. This first one.
Okay. Boop.
And see what we can make happen here.
And we're playing 2 cards here, and so... interesting. Oh, yeah, it's... This is interesting. Nailed it.
All right. I made my selections.
Alrighty. What you doing then?
All right, so I'm going to go here and here. So this first one's allowing me to trash an exploration to essentially get one of each. One magic, one exploration.
Yeah, which is kind of like...
So I'll get a magic, and
then
I'll get
an
an exploration,
exploration.
please. Just because I don't honestly quite know which direction I want to go. I'm,
Right.
I'm leading heavily more heavily magic at the moment. This next one just gives me a magic and a diplomacy, which is inactive, which might help me for later. So I'm ever so slightly magical at the moment.
Okay. So mine right here is if I have exactly 1 green card in my tableau, which I do, I will gain 2 exploration tokens. Nice. So I do have exactly that. So I am leading very heavily exploration right now. All right, so that's the end of the turn there. So I have 4 explorations and only 2 magic. So I'm leading towards exploration.
I'm leaning toward magic. I only got 1 exploration.
Oh, and they're
magic.
equal too. So
oh my gosh, here we go.
Here we go again.
What a split party. We're that D&D party that just spends all session like, do you want to go this way or go that way?
Yeah, right.
And eventually the DM's just like, a Balrog appears in the hallway because you've been chattering on for hours, and it makes noise.
So what happens? Like you spent an hour looking through drawers. Did you think the city guard was never going to come?
Never going to show up? Like I genuinely did think that they would.
Time does exist in this world.
Why?
Okay. So these are going to go.
So I get first pick. Hey,
you do get first pick here. And I want to get up to 20 experience. I want to get my gold cube on there.
Me too. I really want to crank on that.
I feel like I did really good in experience in the first round. But interesting. Okay.
Fascinating. I'm going to go down here to the bottom. I'm going to gain an experience.
Okay.
Take these cards. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, so
trying to think of also when to use my abilities. They basically help me gain more symbols typically. That's like most of my things.
Right.
So I'm like...
Mine are all about playing cards. Like, yeah, this one I can play an additional card to my tableau this turn. So I'm kind of like, oh, do I want to do that? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I do.
Alrighty, what are we going to play? Michael. I think I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I got my two.
I think I got mine as well.
All right. I am going to play these two. This first one here, if I have 2 or more green banners, I get a magic, because that is this fence post here.
Yes, indeed.
A magic. Boom. This next one here, if I have exactly 2 blue banners, I get 2 of the light, so 2 exploration.
You are very undecided, yes.
Yes.
You're all over the place.
My indecision of myself is reflected in my character.
Anxiety coming through always. I am mostly just trying to get experience. If I have exactly 1 red card, which I do, I'll gain 2 experience. Blop, blop.
Nice.
And then if I get rid of a magic, which again, you don't have a choice. I do have to get rid of a magic. I'll just get rid of this one. Blop. I'll get 3 experience.
Dang, you're way up there, man.
Trying, man. I was like, I'm going to try and get all the way up here in experience.
I know.
So, okay. And then these are going to go blop, blop, blamp. Oh, sorry, real quick. Let's figure out where we are. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 2. So I'm still going exploration.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 magic, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 exploration.
So you are tied. Okay.
I don't know what I want.
So this is interesting. So these are the 4 cards that were out there. So they're going towards magic. You were tied, and then I'm going towards exploration. So yet again, we are at a tie. I like we going towards magic. Oh man. Okay. Now these ones went away.
I think. Okay. What do I want to do?
I don't know. I'm kind of stuck. I don't trust this town. Is my kind of thing.
So do we want to spend more time in it and talk to this healer? But what if they're part of the problem, man?
But I am also going mega towards exploration because it just feels like what Geralt would do.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read between the lines. I'm going to be like, listen here, I know these people out here can't be trusted, you understand? So I am going to use this before playing cards during the second step. Or I guess it's after our draft, right? So I'll do that in a moment.
It depends on what it says, yeah.
It's the second step before playing cards.
So it'll be right now.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, you're right. After our draft.
I'm going to draft
yes.
and then, then I'm probably going to use that to maybe I'm changing my ways, man. Maybe I'm changing my ways. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not.
Okay. I don't know. What do I want to draft here? I don't know. I feel like I should. Everything I've kind of No, man. Tough. I'm trying to think like. I think I'm going to go here.
Okay.
Weirdness.
There's some weirdosity going on.
Because kind of no matter which way we end up going, I want a lot of both symbols.
Yeah,
because I want that experience too.
Approach,
so it's like I do I don't want to go all super heavy, even if I do want to push us in a specific direction, you know?
Right. I think I'm going to go here. All right. I'm going to take these. I'm going to exploration. I am going to use my ability reading between the lines, Nick. So I'm going to choose a symbol, reveal cards from the main action deck until you reveal a card with that symbol and draw that card into my hand. This will increase my hand size. I think I want to go exploration. I'm going to go exploration. This has exploration on it, so we'll do that. My hand size is now increased.
Ooh, nice.
And, okay, so, right.
And they're going to be tied again. Oh, interesting.
So do we band together?
I don't know, man.
Let's go exploration, man.
I think at this point I'm not going to have a choice. I kind of wanted to push us towards magic, but I got too many exploration too early on. And then I was like, oh, I don't think I can. I don't think I have the ability to even push us towards magic. So
no worries, man.
Beat dubs.
Let's do it. I think
I'm going to use my thing right here. I'm going to play an additional card to my tableau.
Nice. Okay, yeah, I'm ready, man. I got this. I am going to play this, which is going to do me a couple things. Right here, for each inactive symbol I have, I gain an experience up to 3. I do have 1, 2, 3 diplomacy, which is not active, so I'll get
3 experience.
1, 2, 3, and get my 3rd ability from experience. So that's cool. Pulling the string. I gain 2 active symbols of the thing I have the least of, so that'll be nice. I am tied at the moment. This also gives me blue, green, yellow, which is the extra effort
forgot
here.
about those.
Gets me another experience and 1 toward exploration. Can you remember exploration?
Yeah, I totally forgot to even look at those.
Yeah.
Yep, good call.
And this one just gives me an exploration. So I am now officially
exploring.
All
right, so I'm going to play these 3 cards. Again, I'm playing an extra one because I used my ability to do so. This one, for every blue banner, I will gain 1, 2, or 3 diplomacy. I have 2 at the time of playing this card, so I'll get 2 diplomacy. Mostly I want that because the next card is I can get rid of a diplomacy to get 1 of every other kind of symbol. So I'll get rid of 1 of those to get blop, blop, and blop.
Whoa.
Bam, bam, bam. Okay, and then this one is if I have 3 or more blue cards, which I do, I'll gain 1 of each, and so I'll get a magic.
Keeping that balanced approach, man.
Yeah, and trying to, like, no matter which way we go, at this point, I'm going to get some experience out of it.
All
just,
right.
I was like, I'm just going to try to get a ton of symbols.
I think that's smart.
That's mostly what I'm doing here.
Dang, nicely done.
Okay, so that's the end of the round. So we're going to go blop. Okay, so what do we have the most of? I think I still have the most exploration. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 1. Yeah, I'm 7 to 3 exploration.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 exploration. I am also exploration.
Okay, so this one is going to go boom towards exploration.
Okay.
Okay, because they are equal, so they don't push or pull it either way.
Yep.
Regardless. Okie dokie. So we're at the end of the round. So now what's going to happen is you'll get a point for every one of the active symbol you have. So again, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Nice.
So I'll go up to 11.
And you'll get experience for every of the non-dominant symbol you have, which would be magic.
4 magic.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'll go 1, 2, 3. And bring out the gold cube. So the gold cube,
Nice.
You won't get these abilities again.
Right.
But what you do get is now you'll start getting points as you move up and up. And I do have now my last ability here, which is pretty darn cool. Okay, so we are going that way. So now we'll decide who has the most of the left path, which is exploration. I think I had 7.
I have 6.
Okay, so I will get the left path. Boom. And then who has more magic? I have 5.
I have 4.
Okay, I will also get the right path.
Oh my gosh.
You can have both of those too.
Sneaky man.
Snaky, snaky, snaky.
Dang, all right.
Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and get rid of all your symbols.
No
Boom.
more symbols.
Bang.
Don't need them. I want them.
Blip, blop. Blamp. And then now you will keep 2 cards.
2 cards.
Ooh, man. And so,
Okay, so
we're going to be going
we're-
towards magic and diplomacy is what we want. Okay.
Using this card for sure because it's magic and diplomacy.
See, I want this one. It's going to be a lot of diplomacy, but it won't really help me right off the bat. Actually, I'm going to grab these 2. Oh, that doesn't help me, though. Oh, man, interesting.
I think I'm keeping these. Or do I want... Hold on now.
I'm going to keep these.
Go with me. I'm going Oppo. I'm going Oppo play. I'm going to keep this because the things that are not going to be active are combat and exploration. So if I keep these, I get 1 diplomacy, but I immediately am going to get 2 experience at the start of the round. So I'm going that route.
Yeah, I'm basically going to have a magic. This will give me a diplomacy, and I'll have an exploration. So I'm going to basically start off with a couple symbols here.
Nice.
Okay, so let's go ahead and finish out the rest of this round here. And we'll get...
The resolution of our story.
Yes, we're going to be going towards
We're gonna
page
sneak
22.
into the hideout. We're ditching town. We're gonna go find what's going on out here in the woods.
Okay, so
Page 22 for us.
well, that's too far, Nicholas. So boom. None of this story matters. None of this
Don't
story
look at
matters.
it. Don't think
even
about
look
it. You
at
saw
it.
nothing.
Boom. Okay.
Okay.
Sound 22. Okay. So, chasing the Sylvan, you come to close you come close to its hideout. You also notice elves' footprints on the ground. Thanks to this, you won't let them catch you off guard. So the player with the left one gains 3 experience points. Boop, boop, boop.
Dang.
On the way, one of you thinks back to the encounter with the healer when they felt slight vibrations of a magical nature, and the healer wasn't the source of them. Now the feeling borders on certainty. The unusual aura emanated from her apprentice, Lil. The girl probably plays a bigger role in the story than you might expect. It's possible that she is a prophetess.
Ooh.
Player with the right token gains 1 victory point.
All right, that's me. Oh, that's you too.
Boop, let's go. You crawl into the Sylvan's hideout, aware of the presence of the elves. You manage to avoid the trap they set for you. When the elves realize they don't stand a chance in the fight against you, they decide to talk. So, boom. So, they're like, no, we're not going to fight you. You got a big old sword, and you have a loot, you know. These pitiful humans live too short to remember that not so long ago these were our lands.
That's exactly when you think elf, that's how they sound.
Exactly.
It's definitely not like,
says one of the elves reproachfully,
But we haven't forgotten. The time will come when they will descend from the mountain. When we will descend from the mountains, and the Valley of Flowers will be flooded with human blood.
That's why I read that way.
The rare goblin elf
What
hybrid.
they say they're flooding everything with human blood. That's not like, we will flood with human
They would
blood.
absolutely be. They're all occultists, man. It's weird.
You would like to do everything to make absolutely sure that time does not come very soon.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you all feel a delicate tingling in your heads as if someone was trying to access your minds. So magic. The magic route is you try to secretly prepare a protective spell so as to not succumb to someone's telepathic tricks in case the situation takes a turn for the worst. Or diplomacy. At the same time, you try to convince the elves that many human generations have passed since they were exiled from the Valley of Flowers. The residents of Lower Posada do not even have elven blood on their hands, guys. Hey, guys. Hey, guy.
Hey, guys, we even got
elven guy.
hands, all right?
Okay.
That is interesting.
So again, so you can see on the bottom here, there's no, because this is going to be the end of the story. This is going to take us to one of 2 epilogues, or I guess there's going to be more epilogues depending on what path, if we went the other path. There's like 4 possible epilogues per story, I think.
Yeah.
And so...
So you can replay the same story and go different ways.
Yeah, totally.
And see what you get.
Oof, okay, let's get into the story.
Okay, man.
Okay.
Alrighty, so our final extra effort now takes 4 banners. Yellow, yellow, red, green, or blue, blue, green, red, and they give you 2
of that symbol
toward whichever direction you're going.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I am. I don't know here. I am glad that you got my experience up. Do I want to try and push experience to get points? I don't know. Okay, so I am going first. Okay, so do we basically want to prepare a protective spell against their mind tricks, the Chris Angels, or do we talk to the elves? I already have...
They seem super reasonable.
So these actually are going to happen right away, real quick. Yep. So I have 1 blue, so I'm going to get 1 diplomacy. So I'm starting off with 1 magic, 1 diplomacy. So right now I'm very unsure.
That's very cool. I am going to trigger this right here, which is for each non-active symbol, which is combat and exploration. I gain experience, so I will get 2, which gets me my final ability. So we are...
And keep in mind, your side quest here...
I know.
Matters for the things you have in your hand, too. So it's whatever you're left over with.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling
doing
solid
okay here.
on
I'm doing
that.
okay. But yeah, so keep that in mind. You get some extra points for your little side quest here.
Sir.
Okay. Okay. What to even do here? I'm going to go... Blamp.
Yeah.
Tough.
Gosh. Yeah, it is.
The Valley of Flowers will
I'm
flood
going
with
here.
human blood.
Oops. I'm going to go here.
Okay. Blamp, blamp. Blamp, 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 blamp. Yep. Ah! Oh, actually. Heck yeah. Blamp. Alrighty, Mikey. I am going to play this one first so I can get rid of an exploration symbol. I have one right here. And I'll get 3 experience for that. Blam, blam, blam.
Nice.
Okay. And then this one right here, if I have 2 or more red cards, I do have 2, I will gain the leftmost symbol, which is going to be a magic symbol. So I'm kind of, at this point, leaning magic-wise. I'm trying to protect myself from these elf mind freaks.
Get mind freaked. I'm going to play this, which means if I have exactly 1 green banner, which I do, I get 2 experience. So now I am 1, and then onto my gold cube. So I can maybe get some points out of that. And this is going to give me some symbols. I have 1 diplomacy symbol. Everything else is irrelevant to what we're doing right now.
Hey, I have
I'm building something.
3 magic. So you're going diplomacy. I'm going magic. They are actually going diplomacy. So diplomacy is our first path of destiny right here. Ugh, hate that. I'm trying to not get mind freaked, Mike. Whereas the bard out here loves it.
I live for it.
He's just like,
I live for altered mind experiences, man. One time, performed an entire fugue to a tree, and it was a cool time, man. It was a groovy time.
They loved it.
They loved it.
Okay, so, interesting. Ooh, I'm going to go blamp. Because that's got 2 diplomacy and a magic, so that's pretty...
Man! I'm going here. Off the top.
Ooh, Topo,
Off
huh?
the deck. I don't want any of these cards.
Wow, go for it.
Be there.
Topo, Blopo.
Be there. We out here.
Ooh, okay, I can do that.
All right, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to go like this and like this. So, this first one just has some symbols. This one here says I can trash up to 3 non-active symbols to gain 3 magic. I will absolutely do that.
Oh, yeah, you got a bunch of combat ones. And, you got a ton.
Yeah, so let's do combat.
Nice.
Because they're not going to factor in and get 3 magic.
Wow.
Now going magic as well, man.
Okay. I'm going to use my indefatigable. So I cannot be fatigued.
Go ahead. And I have one other thing after that, but
Oh, no, do your thing then.
I also got this. I got yellow, red, and green.
I can't. There's too many things to pay attention to. I can't even do it.
I'm just gonna get 2 more magic.
Oh, nice. Wow, you're going magic.
Real magic.
Okay, I'm going to use my indefatigable, which means I can't get fatigued, to play another card to my tableau, and then I'll draw a card from the main deck into my hand. So I am going to go bop, 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 because it won't really matter the order of these cards. This one's just going to give me a magic symbol. This one's, if I've played exactly 1 yellow card, I'll get 2 experience. I have played exactly 1 yellow card. And this just gives me some more symbols, but then I'll draw a card back to my hand here. So I am maintaining my hand size, which is great. Okay, Mikey. So, who's got the most of what? I have
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 magic to 1 diplomacy.
I got 5 magic to like 3 diplomacy.
All right,
so
well,
I am
then
also.
we don't even need to look at the tie break. We're going
They
magic.
technically were diplomacy, but we are going magic. Oh my gosh.
Split party.
What's going to happen?
I don't know, man.
Keep in mind, if there's a tie, like say this one stays off, it'll be wherever the highest number, that's the direction. So right now
we're looking
magic
pretty
has an edge.
Unless we deliberately go the other direction.
Yeah. Okay. Blamp. Okay, Mikey. It's going to be your last turn. And then we will decide which way do we go?
Okay. I think I'm going to trigger all my abilities and stuff, I think.
Yeah, you haven't really used it. I've used all mine.
I've been waiting for the right time, I think. I mean,
The time is nigh.
the time is now.
All right, you are first, by the way.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. I just want to make sure that we do a
Should
thing.
have kept that card in my hand, Nicholas. You're a silly Billy. Silly Von Billy.
Interesting. So if I do... Okay. I'm going to go here. It's going to give me an experience. I'll take these cards. I have to count now.
You know what? I'm going Oppo Topo. Off the top of the deck. I don't love any of those options. Oh, okay, that's better, I guess. So I think I'm doing those. Blop, that will be useful. Okay.
All right, I think I'm doing these.
Okay.
But before I do, I'm going to do the Ballad of Changing Your Mind and Pulling the String, which are similar. So I can basically gain an active symbol of the types I currently have the least of. I have less diplomacy than magic. So I'm going to trigger both these. One gives me 1, one gives me 2, so we'll get 3 total.
Okay.
Mathing is hard, man.
It's tough, man.
This last one, Merit Assignment Song, I can gain a symbol of my choice. Other players must discard one symbol of the chosen type if they have one.
Oh. Ooh, interesting.
I think I will choose magic with that.
So I have to discard magic?
If you can.
How many?
One. Just one.
Boo.
Just one.
Hate
All right.
that.
I'm doing these cards, man. Doing these.
Okay.
All right. So this first one here, I can trash an exploration symbol just fine. I'll do that. Boom. To gain 2 of the right signpost, get 2 diplomacy.
Yeah, you do that nice even approach.
And then if I have exactly 1 blue banner, which I do, I get 2 diplomacy.
Nice.
Trying to balance. I don't honestly know which direction I'm leading now.
I'm kind of the same boat. I'm not entirely sure. So I'm going to play this one where I can get rid of a diplomacy to gain 3 experience. Mostly just want the experience. Blop, blop, blop. And then this one's just going to give me a magic symbol. Woof. Okay, so gosh, what do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 magic symbols, and I have 1, 2... I have 2 diplomacy. So I'm still going magic.
I have 7 magic.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
8 diplomacy.
8 diplomacy. And they're going, oh my gosh, they're going diplomacy. I thought we were going magic.
I thought so too.
Oh, that's horrible for me. Oh my gosh, that's bad. Okay. Because I have...
Talk to the elves.
I
I was
was
like, I like what you're doing.
I'm trying to not get mind freaked.
Blood of man, time has passed, but it doesn't matter to Pam. That's an elf named Pam. That's a weird name. Her name in Elvish is High. All right, that's my tunes. I'm not saying I'm a good bard. I just am a bard.
You are a bard, indeed.
All right.
Okay, Mikey, so we'll finish it out. So this is going to be the dominant path. So however many of that symbol you have, you'll gain that many points. I'm only gaining 2. Bar Faruno.
I'm getting 8.
Oh my gosh, that's not good. And then how many of the other symbol you will gain?
You got, how far ahead of me were you?
You're here. What? I'm at 13.
Oh, then you gave me my points?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah, give your points.
I was like, what?
And you'll gain experience for magic. I only have 4 magic. Okay, give me the next points threshold.
I have 7. So I'm going to go from 1 to 8, which does get me to 5.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Oh man, that might be it right there. Okay, so we will also award the fence post, which I think is going to be both you.
I have 8 and 7.
Yep, that's both you. So you're going to get both of those, and we are going to go the path of diplomacy.
All right, we're going to talk to these elves. We're going to get our minds melted or something.
This is going to be 40. And 36, 38, 40. All right, man, you're the one who really pushes this direction, so go for it.
For better or worse, the elves are proud and difficult to persuade to change their minds. Inconsolable, the Sylvan shakes his head. They're stubborn as mules. Out of the 2, I prefer to be a goat. The queen of the fields only knows. One of the elves silences him with a hand gesture. That's their sign. That's how they do it. Now we will leave without a fight, but I hope, the elf turns to one of you who took on the task of talking to them. I hope that when the time comes and we descend from the mountains with the rest of our brethren, we will finally meet on the battlefield. If you wield your sword as skillfully as your tongue, it will be a good fight. Player with the darker fence post gets 2 victory points.
Oh man, I think I'm done, skis.
The second elf senses a protective spell used to secure this place. It smiles bitterly, praising the caution of the person who cast it. The queen of the fields helps the elves, and they wouldn't forgive themselves if something happened to her in a confrontation with your company. Seeing that you have done everything to prevent a fight, the elf agrees with its companion to leave without one. The player with the other fence post gets 1 point.
Dang it.
There we go. Okay. Each player receives victory points earned from the experience points track. Each player receives victory points for a side quest. So let's take a look at these two things. So I have reached the 5-point marker threshold with our golden cube, so I will get 5.
I have reached the 9 points, which is good, but it's going to be short of Mikey. And then our side quest.
Yeah, so my side quest was to collect cards that have none of the symbols at the top. So like these two, for example.
And these are left back into your hand.
I do also have several in my hand with no symbol. So I will get 4 or more cards will get me the full 5 points.
Yeah, I needed to have green cards. I have 4, which is only going to give me 3 points. Boom, boom, boom. So our lootist dandelion. Oh, I'm sorry, not quite done yet. Hold on.
Probably win, but if there is a bard in play, they die. Okay, no, the elves have left, taking the Sylvan with them. You, on the other hand, return to the village where a feast is organized in your honor. I don't know if I trust this village.
I don't at all.
But we're out here. The Dable did not take away so much from us that we wouldn't have anything to offer you. Excited Netley shouts in your ear. The end. Dandelion! Dandelion!
Good job.
Nice.
Dang.
Well done.
Way to go. Bard always wins out.
Listen, man, it's all about the story. It's all about the story.
It's about vibes.
It's all about the tale.
It's about vibes, dude.
You know, it's about time we get the sidekick. Let them get a win. Let them get a dub, you know? They're staying on top of the pedestal for once.
You know.
That's it.
So that was, boom, The Witcher Path of Destiny.
Dandelions Great Day. I'm going to call it that. Chapter is called Dandelions Great Day.
That's what we like. It's not called The Edge of the World anymore.
No.
Dandelions Great Day.
No.
Again, that is The Witcher The Witcher Path of Destiny.
It's the other Witcher game from Go On Board.
Again, big shout out to Go On Board for sponsoring this playthrough. Again, there's a link down to the campaign for this with the game found down in the description below.
Check it out.
But yes, that is the story that we told. But again, in that story, I think there's like 8 different kind of endings you could go to. And if you choose a different path than we did in the very first one, you're going to go down a whole different story.
Every time you're presented with an option, if you go left or right, you're going to be on a unique path from there. But if on the second thing you now go right instead of left like last time, you'll also be on a unique path. So lots of stuff to explore.
And there's multiple stories as well. So that's with multiple stories you can do that with. And so
very cool.
That is The Witcher Path of Destiny. Again, make sure to check out down in the description below the campaign for it. And I think that's it.
That's it, everybody. I'm Mike.
I'm Nick.
We're the Brothers Murph. We'll catch you all next time at the Game House.
Bye, everybody.